some South Asian countries, Australia even, and a couple more places. Okay, I'd like to just very quickly, let's see, my skill, I've got time now. I like the idea mentioned yesterday. We were talking about student ratio. Everybody was saying that supplying well-trained teachers in class, but you know the ratio must be right. We must have, you know, not 1 to 50 or 1 to 60, but ideally, you know, but my objection altogether, it cannot be done. Definitely not where we are right now. Okay, we've got, considering the number of schools, the number of students, and the number of teachers that we have. So India has, in the last couple of years, witnessed educational revolution. And we're trying to combat educational inequity in India, lack of opportunity for certain strata of students to realize that their potential to develop their creativity. To address this issue in inequity, we need to consider all aspects of educational system. But if we leave 1 or 2 aspects, put it in isolation, it will not happen. Several issues that contribute to this educational inequity have been ignored for years. Now, 2 problems addressed, even yesterday I was hearing the members, the politicians that came, everybody was talking about affordable schooling, appropriate textbooks, how we have got 1,500 new schools coming up, and low-cost books provided, tablets provided for schools. I think we're talking about the low-cost Akash tablet, highly commendable, but what about the more fundamental problem? Are we actually tackling the part where we talk about teachers, trained teachers? Unless these teachers get effectively trained, unless teachers effectively impart knowledge to students in their classroom, the mission of improving education and all about inequity will never be achieved. We were talking about EFA today, and yesterday the speaker was talking about not EFA, but now we talk about LFA. But if you have not come to education for all, how can we talk about learning for all? And we heard the ideals about personalized learning environment yesterday, but are we there yet? Okay. I logged in what Professor Sinclair said yesterday, education for the underprivileged. And that takes me to what Professor Sugata Mitra has talked about, the hole in the wall project. Okay. He said technology should reach the underprivileged first. Here we have been talking about, since I was here yesterday listening, we are talking about the other way around. Children learn to do what they want to learn to do today. Okay? Children learn if they have interest, they learn. Learning will happen. So we teachers need to create that interest in students. Arthur C. Clarke said, well, if a teacher can be replaced by a machine, replace the teacher. Okay? All right, now we come to the slides. Okay, so if we teach today as we taught yesterday, then we rob our children of a better tomorrow. Okay. New knowledge economy, we know that we've got all this ICT challenge, globalized. We all know, we have been talking about since yesterday, preparing the learner. Okay. We talked about ICT literacy, we talked about technology, information literacy, we said 21st century skills, we listed down again and again in every presentation, in every session, we heard about 21st century skills. Even in the preschool session today, we were talking about 21st century skills. Application to real life situation. This is the challenge in education today. Okay, these are the students today. Knowledge economy. If we talk about what's outside the school today, this is outside the school today. So where are we? 2 blocks per every second created. That's how much technology is out there. Okay. Professional learning, students today, our speakers talked about emerging new students. They are digitally literate, etc., etc. And what are they expecting? Learning preferences as such. Are we giving them that? To do that, we teachers have to change. So hence comes about our teacher training. The role of a teacher has changed. Teachers remain central to the learning process, but what are we doing? Are we there yet? Yesterday, I think, somebody talked about, oh no, in today morning's presentation, one of the presentations, the early childhood people said, The role of a teacher is not just that, it's changed. They said also as a mother, as a counselor, as a psychologist. So how do we train all these teachers to be that? Focus has to be on students, designing the experience, and so on and so forth. Engaging the students. So how do we do this? Pedagogical integration must be consistent with the kind of learners we have. So that's where we need to train our teachers. Just now, I think one of our learned speakers talked about how things have changed. See the input before. The old-style teachers, the new teaching. Okay? Where now the learning happens in the process, not in what the teacher says from the textbook anymore. Okay? It's the process that brings about, generates all those skills that we have been talking about. So can technology do this? Can technology assist? Yes, but only if it's under the hands of a capable educator. Again, yesterday in one of the presentations, I was listening, man, I was. In one of the presentations, someone said about, use PowerPoint, you know, it will help the teachers save time. Is that what we are talking about using technology for? Or are we talking about using technology to enhance learning? Okay, so are we integrating technology just because we're going to integrate technology? I say to you, integrating technology is not about simply integrating technology. It has to be more than that. It has to be about where are we? I think perhaps we are still talking about technology. Teachers don't have the skills, students have the skills, hence how do we use that technology? So we're talking about, we are still learning about technology. Are we learning with technology? Then we generate knowledge. Are we learning through technology? Then we generate new knowledge. A good example here, someone mentioned Singapore just now, or was it in the earlier presentation? Singapore is now talking about creating new knowledge. Of course, the argument would be, they're a small lot, we are such a huge number. But teacher training, okay? Full understanding, the theory says, or literature review says, teacher training has to be about getting teachers to understand and complete mastery of ICTs as pedagogical tools. It talks about the need to design, integrating pedagogy and technology. Okay, focus should be ICT in schools as a catalyst to transform the teaching and learning process. Yep. So technology so far, the global report says, yes, nothing much has happened. Something here and something there, but all the policies are all there. Okay, implementation is the issue. Okay, professional development has to happen, not one-off, but continuous professional development. Most teachers will say they get thrown with technology. We've got the expo, beautiful things being there. Some administrators of schools will come and say, this is what happens in Malaysia at least. Buy this, buy that, beautiful. I've got the whiteboard, interactive whiteboard. And what happens is, at the end of the day, if teachers are not trained, Prof. Sinclair was talking about training. Is that what we're talking about? Yes, we are talking about training to an extent. But after which, we cannot be training all your millions and millions of teachers. So following that, there has to be continuous coaching. So how about getting some teachers from the schools, a couple, get them to be master coaches and peer coach. Okay? Abilities of teachers, they need confidence, they need motivation, we have heard that. Now, if we don't give teachers the right training, they cannot think of alternative. Like the device breaks down, there's nothing else that can be done, so lesson cannot go on, all right? Hence, there must be a variety of issues that we need to look at. Introducing technology takes time, so when we train our teachers, we need to consider all those factors. So qualified and unqualified teachers, just skip this. These are the numbers of teachers in Malaysia. We're small, but yet we have not done it well yet. Okay. Yeah, going back to that, this is what we do. Okay, we train teachers, we have got the unqualified teachers in the system, so what we do is we have training programs in school, then on the job training, and after a period of 2 years, we absorb them through our diploma in education program. Now, in conclusion, I put here the TPAC model. TPAC model, because we're talking about training teachers, they must have the technical knowledge, pedagogy, and content knowledge. Integration of that will come about. And continuous professional development, important, not one-off training, to develop
Dr.
all
Ranjit
this.
Singh?
Yes.
Time.
All right. Okay, my last slide, ma'am. All right, and my emphasis is on peer coaching. And as the minister said yesterday, digital illiteracy. So until teachers are not ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn, nothing will happen.